Pelicans postgame report on the PPR Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly, and I tell him that. Yeah, ain't gon' lie, than I ever been. This be ballin', I'm a ballin', going down in the down, wow. Coming to town, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. Don't jump something like you ain't rain. Never hate the player, hate the game. Jumpin' where the game, let a train. Post game, post Q, talking about business, bird game, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us, like a subdivision mission, getting to the finals, finish competitions, then it's going when the titles. I know the flyer, such a threat, such a rep, just might call a tag, double, you can pass, but you can't check, right, left, slide by you like a Eurostag. And I tell them that never flock together. Fly down, forever. And never say birds of a bird flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a pelican forever.
All right, Coach, another really solid effort by your young group. Again, the effort, energy was there.
Yeah, it was. Effort was there. Energy is there. Guys are playing hard. They're playing for each other. And, they just have to continue to figure out that the margin for error is so small that when you have momentum, I think it was 7:40 left, we come out of a timeout, we get a stop, turnover, next play, turnover, next play, we get an open shot, and we miss it, and it kind of, the air went out of our group a little bit from there. We got back in it, but it's those possessions where you go down, you score, now you go up, 4 or 5 points, that changes the game for us. So good effort, but still some improvement, and the guys are competing.
When you see these young guys like Keon Brooks and Lester Quinones and Antonio Reeves just taking advantage of these opportunities, as a coach, how does that make you feel?
Well, we're all proud of the way the guys are going out and competing, playing for each other, and understanding that these are great opportunities. This is going to pay off for some of these guys in the long run. It sucks to not win the game. They step on the floor because they're all competitors. They want to win. And these are growing pains for some of our young guys.
Well, Bruce got up to a pretty good start for y'all offensively. I'm just having pointers for him to kind of take over a leadership role in moments like this.
It was great. I thought Bruce set the tone right away with his aggressiveness on both ends of the floor. 16 points, 9 assists, getting guys involved. He's getting into the paint, getting into the teeth of the defense. He's hitting his floater. So good to see him put together a solid game.
And Eve tonight became first rookie since Blake Griffin to reach 250 offensive rebounds. How impressive is it? Not just his ability to offensive rebound, but just consistently showing up and doing it night to night throughout the season.
I think that's the key. Is Eve has been consistent all year. We can count on him game after game, and he started the season really well for us. He had that kind of middle of the year where you kind of hit the rookie wall. He pushed through it. And then now, the stretch run, we're starting to see him take even more steps forward. So really proud of Eve and how he's put together a fantastic year. And now for him, it's just continuing to finish it out the right way, keep building on what he's done.
And that was going to be my next question. How impressive is it just to see him just keep building throughout the course of the season, regardless of, the guys out there with him?
I think the impressive component to what he's doing is, understanding how important it is to take every opportunity serious and take advantage of it. And so no matter what game it is, Eve he's a focused young man. He's pretty serious about, his preparation and what he does to prepare for games. And we're all seeing it when he's on the floor.
Obviously, shooting is such a valued skill in this league. For a guy like Antonio, who's had his minutes change and all these things, but it seems like every time he's given minutes and shots, he makes shots. How important is it and just advanced the qualities there for a rookie to see him be able to make shots consistently as he had?
Huge bright spot for us. Tone has been great. I'm proud of the work that he's put in with the coaching staff. He soaks all the information up. He goes back to the gym almost every night. Things, stuff that people don't get a chance to see. And he's ready for those moments when we put him on the floor. So, that's what you want to see in not just your young players, all your players, but especially your young guys, is take advantage of the opportunities. When Tone steps on the floor, we're all confident in what he can do. And tonight he put together another really good game.
Really, going back to Eve for a second, what improvements have you seen out of his game the last few weeks, maybe since the All-Star break? For instance, I think it was his fifth straight game, double-digit figures in rebounding. That's the most he's had all season. He had a nice jumper from the baseline tonight. What have you seen where he's taken steps forward with his game?
Well, starting with the rebounding component, we challenged Eve that, he should get 10-plus rebounds a game. He's athletic. He's one of the fastest bigs on the floor. And you have to, at times, rebound outside of your area to be a really good rebounder. And he's taken on that challenge the last, 5 to 8 games. We've seen him grow defensively, being able to protect the paint a little bit better, block shots. He's making good plays in the pocket. And his sky's the limit for Eve. He can continue to get better.
I think Lester tied his career high with 17 points. What did you see exactly from him tonight?
Confident young man, ready to step in and take advantage of the opportunity. And we had a brief chat before the game. I said, if you see daylight, let it go and play with confidence, play free, and go out there and have fun. He did that tonight.
One of the other things in the second half, it seemed like one of the adjustments defensively was you were able to cut Milwaukee off from just driving into the paint. In the first half, it seemed like they got in a little bit easier. Was that something that you noticed and game plan for the second half, or was it just guys picking up the defensive effort?
Yeah, I think guys picked up their defensive effort. We always want to be a protect the paint team. They got Big Lopez down there. They hitting him in the pocket. So trying to take away some of their easy drives, easy pocket passes, force them to do some things that they don't want to. But give them credit. They executed down the stretch and did what they needed to do to win the game. I thought our guys responded in the second half. Just couldn't sustain it for especially in that fourth quarter. All right, thanks.
All right, shout out to the fam, man. Big ups to y'all. Thank y'all for being in the stream. For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican postgame report. Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all.
I think they need a second round of applause for being here.
All right, we're going to do that.
I can't believe people actually here.
What you mean, cuz?
What Dick Gregory? Can you cue Dick Gregory? That's how I felt listening to this press conference. You just keep talking. Play that one, man.
Okay, all right, I got you.
Stop, y'all. Keep talking. Huh? You keep talking, man. And you shut the up.
This shit over, man. Like, why are they doing all this? All this extra, Willie Green doing his assessment. And the way he's talking, they going in all this detail and shit. They're like, did we win? Like, what the fuck is this? Like, man, why y'all can't just wrap this shit up like y'all did the rest of the losses and just get out of here and we do the show and then we can actually say the stuff that's really on our heart and get this shit over with. Because everybody just won't be over for the just go to Australia. Do they even need to show up for the last 4 games?
Yes, we do have.
Damn, they can't just go to Australia already and start getting ready for that shit.
No, sir. We got to finish up the games.
Oh, man.
It's been a rough season, man. Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all. Daniel, Slim, Pelicans, Nola, Michael, Morgan, Jedi, Connor. Big ups to you guys. Dirty Mermaid. Shout out to you. Who would compliment Zion with this year's draft? Yeah, no, shout out to you. So who do you think, DC? What's up, Jaden? Shout out to you, Molly Mall. All right, who do you think, bro?
Any one of the top 4 players definitely would compliment him. And, the 4 guys, depending on who people think the 4th guy would be, you know what I'm saying? You got old boy out of Texas. I like him. You got VJ Edgecombe, a lot of people still got him slotted there. But the 1 and 2 is perfect complements for Zion. I think Cooper Flag, although a lot of people may not see the vision because they still look at Zion as playing power forward. Zion would be a small forward. Cooper Flag
I actually
will
like
play
that.
the 4. Trey Murphy will be our shooting guard. And CJ McCullough will probably be the point guard at the beginning of the season, but DeJounte coming back, you put CJ on the bench as you're saying, and you got Yves out there. I think that would be a very dangerous lineup. Then, the other way, Dylan Harper obviously works with the same thing, except you don't have to move CJ to point guard. You just leave him in his natural position. You put Dylan Harper as point guard. You got Zion, Trey, and Yves, and you roll like that. Kelly Olynyk probably could spot start in some situations where you want to spread you need more shooting out there with it. And you roll like that, man, and you probably get another competent role player that fits Zion's skill set, which would be another 3-and-D shooter if we could find that some type of way through the draft, the trade, or free agent. I think the Pels could be set if one of those draft picks live up to what you think they could be. Then this year wouldn't look so bad.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, I have a couple of people we know about Cooper Flag, and you mentioned Edgecombe, Dylan Harper, and Ace Bailey. These are some of the players, the top 3 or 4 players available in the upcoming lottery. Where the Pelicans fall at, man, that's anybody's guesses. We have that tankathon list right here.
They're gonna be second or third Q because, like I keep saying, I think the Pels are gonna be rewarded for the fact that they've kept up the appearance of competing, all year. Unlike all the other teams you're looking at, they just grading it by the record. But if we go look at all the drafts and you look at the record, it don't never fall like that. It never falls that way.
Right. That's right.
Sometimes the team with the worst record gets the number 1 pick, but it's just all about you being within them 4 teams. Obviously, you want to be really top 3. Usually, one of the top 3 losing teams is going to get the first pick, and it moves around. Whether it's the person with the most losses, the second or the third, and then you got the 4th. I think where your eyes change a little bit, but there's been cases where people got the number 1 pick with the 4th, and you still got the rest of the season left. I don't see the Pels winning another game, so. You never know what Charlotte might do.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was saying. The Pelicans kind of entrenched at that 4th spot, but we still got 3 games remaining? What now? Let me see. 1, 2,
4 games.
4 games left. So there you go.
Charlotte might get a win here or there. A couple. I mean, you just never know, man. But more than likely, we're probably gonna be at the 4th spot.
I think I still see the Pelicans getting a win in one of the remaining 4. I mentioned the Nets. I think that probably will be the game in which they sneak in there and get a W. We'll see because the Nets on it. We'll preview that game momentarily. But DC, you just in time for the team stats, fam. You right in time.
I thought we was gonna keep. We got the draft stuff on the board, man. Why are you doing that?
We just switching it.
Talk about this. Oh,
about to switch it up. There you go. Going back to business, baby. Even though the Pelicans are inconsistent.
Took out the trash, man.
That's right. That's right. All right, so anyway, here we go, man, with the stat read brought to you by Gary Trent Jr. That's right. He had 29 tonight on the Pels in a 111-107 loss. Pelicans fall to 21-57. Currently 4th in the best of the worst, as we just showed you. We'll get into that momentarily. Pelicans 43 of 95 for 45.3% from the field, 12 of 33 from downtown for 36.4%. A ugly 9 of 14 from the foul line. Could have saved the day. 9 of 14 for 64.3%. The Bucks finished 43 out of 92 for almost 47% shot it good from the field. They were 11 of 32 from downtown for 34.4. They were 14 of 22 from the foul line for 63.6%. 51 rebounds versus 48 tonight by the Bucks. Pels did have 31 assists versus 29 by the Bucks. Bucks outstole them 10-4. Pels outblocked them 6-4. Pels had 12 turnovers, 18 points given off those turnovers versus 7 turnovers by the Bucks, 6 points conceded. The fast break game won by the Bucks 24-13, and the points in the paint was tied 54 all in the matchup. Pelicans started off really good, just didn't have the sticking power that we're known to be famous for not having during this season, even when we had some of our better players. Top guy for us, Antonio Reeves, had 23 points in 37 minutes. He was a smooth 5 of 9 from downtown, 8 of 18 from the field, 23 points, 2 steals, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds for him. 18 from Eves and 12 rebounds for him, plus 7 in 30 minutes. Eves had an impressive jump shot that I seen him pull up from the side there and hit that pull-up jump. I was like, that's what
I ain't see that. He had a little, how far out it was? 15 footer?
it was what y'all think, fam? It was what, about
10
12
feet? 12 feet?
Well, something like that, DC. Maybe 12 or 10 feet from the right side of the rim. He pulled up and took the jumper. Maybe 12 feet.
I like Eves, man. I just don't think we gonna obviously keep him as our starting center. I just don't think he ready. I still think he like maybe 2 years away from actually
2 years away, really,
to living up to his potential of being Capella.
Shout out to DJ listening on the gram. We'll see. He done matched pretty good this year.
He's solid, you know what I'm saying? But when you look at all the other teams, even going into next year, and they starting fives, I mean, Eve's not gonna be up there. But what I like about him is he worked, man. He had an awesome performance tonight, but he's a worker. You know what I'm saying? He keeps getting better. He keeps working on stuff, and you could tell he's just that type of player, man. That's just gonna keep going at it. So that's to be commended. But his lack of shooting, far as what we are as the Pels, I mean, that's a bright spot right there, Q. But it'll take, like I said, you're 2 years away from him actually being able to shoot that for real, consistently, right?
Consistently, yeah, you're right. He took it. That was the first one.
About 3 years away from him, probably taking and making a 3-pointer.
That boy pulling up.
We need a stretch big, but he probably ain't gonna never be that. But you always gotta have another big that can shoot. Like you need that in your lineup. You might have to close games with that guy sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But Yves is a starting center in this league, and I think going forward he'll be a really good center. But he, still take time. He got to get bigger. When I saw Kyle Kuzma put a forearm in his chest and push him back, and he ain't flop. He just not that strong yet, man. Like he's 19 years old. The dude got to get bigger. He definitely got bigger since he got drafted. So that's a plus. He's not Jackson Hayes. No. But I'm just saying, from him being, that guy that he has all the potential to be when we drafted him, is about 2 more years, man. And I mean. Right. It's bigs. That's usually what it is. Like I know everybody remember Dwight Howard when he came in the league, and then you saw what he turned into. It took Dwight Howard 2 or 3 years. It takes a lot of them bigs, that long, because they got to get used to the strength of the guys in the league. Man, you got the strongest people in the whole NBA playing your position, and you're a 19-year-old. So and then you, like you said, you also got that aspect of it, which I ain't even touching on, which is the flow of the game. And, we know he got growing to do with that, because he hasn't played basketball his whole life. He didn't start playing basketball until he was like 17. We got Jackson Hayes all over again with actual intelligence, discipline, and the ability and the yearning to want to be great. You know what I'm saying? So they went out and got another Jackson Hayes, except he got all the intangibles this time. But you still you gotta wait, man. You gotta wait to see what that turns into.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's headed in the right direction. I like his temperament and him working, his hustle ability, his defensive skills are improving. Like you said, he got to get stronger. The offensive game, I believe, will come because he has a willingness to want to pick that aspect up of his game. So, like I said, he's very intelligent. Love what he bring into the game, and he's definitely going to be a factor at some point in the future. Well, hopefully we get a coach that can, in a system that can draw the most out of him, while building around our guys like Zion. He can be a willing, component around these guys here as we move forward. So, but Bruce Brown, 16 points, 32 minutes, DC, 7 of 16 from the field. He had 9 assists and 4 boards.
Why is he in the game?
Well, they could have played Kyler Kelly, who they picked up, I guess. Jose Alvarado.
this dude been in the league like eight years?
Kyler Kelly.
No, Bruce Brown. Like, we know what he is. Why is he in the game?
Oh, DC, they got to fill out the roster, bro.
Everybody else is developmental at this point. Other you can say Alfred Payton, but Alfred Payton been out the league. Like, you know, you got to see what he can give you. But you just I don't even understand why he in the game.
32, he had 16. Then, of course, off the bench, we talk about Lester Quinones. He finished with 17 points, DC. Big guard with a lot of hustle in him. 17 points, 3 assists in 25 minutes. He was 4 of 5 from downtown and 6 of 10 from the foul line. Now, listen, the great part about it, DC, Pelicans could very well have won this game if they were better at the foul line. They were 9 of 14.
From the foul. Why would you want to say some shit like that?
Just saying, bro. I'm just saying that
sound like some type of mind voodoo shit you doing. Really.
Just to say that
they could have won this game from.
I'm just saying.
I'm glad they didn't hit from the free throw line, man. We will all be upset if Pels won, bro. We need to come to that fourth spot because Philly gonna mess around and pass you up for the fourth spot.
I'm saying that they're still what 2 games ahead of Philly. So I mean, it ain't like and like I said, the Pelicans are still 2 games ahead of Philly. They're not going to
for sure gonna lose all their games, and they probably lost all their games against us. So if it's a tie,
well, they're 0-10 the last 10 games, so they've lost 11 in a row.
Ain't playing, man.
Yeah, they're trying to get to the bottom of the barrel here. So there you go. So yeah, we're still a couple of games worser than they are and sitting in the 4th spot of the Tankathon. So that's very interesting. But outside of that, yeah, you see Karlo Makovic. He had 11 points and 5 boards in 19 minutes. Jeremiah Robinson-Earl had 5 points, 6 rebounds, 4 from Jamal Cain. Jamal Cain played 22 minutes. He was 1 of 8 from the field and 0 of 6 from downtown and 2 of 4 from the foul line. Golly, Jamal. He finished 4 points and 6 boards tonight. And Alfred Payton played 28 minutes. He took 3 attempts. It was 0 of 3 from downtown. I mean, from the field. 0 of 1 from downtown. He finished with 10 rebounds and 10 assists and 2 rebounds in the game. Not enough. Pelicans go down 111 to 107. So there you go on that. DC, any more add-ons before we jump to the Brooklyn matchup?
No, let's go past this.
Right.
But let me say one thing. No,
okay.
I'm playing. My man Reeves, bro. I hate to be right, Q, but it's like.
You hate to be right? That's not the DCI, no. DCI, right? If he find out he right, he gonna throw it up at you, and I guess it's rightfully so because you're right.
No, I think that's more.
You're right about Cam Reddish.
That's more you than me, bro. Like you kind of when you write about something, you throw it in people's face all day, and then you
no, I don't.
Mike too.
No, I
yes,
don't.
yes, you do. Yes, you do.
No, I don't. Yes, DCU was right about Cam.
We all know how you talk to David Griffin.
Oh, me? I talked to David Griffin. Was I the one that came up with PAW? Was I the same guy that killed PFW?
What are you talking about? Somebody was captured in the war?
No, what's PAW?
Oh, pussy ass weasel.
I couldn't have come up with that, brother. I said octopus, man. I ain't come up with PAW, brother. So that's a good one. But go ahead, bro. Antonio Reeves, what you?
But nah, man. What I was saying is, hate to be right. Like this dude, I think should have been playing like more than halfway through the season, and performances like tonight. Although it wasn't like a historic performance or nothing, it was a real good night for him. 8 for 8 for 23 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. You know what I'm saying? This dude. They talked about him taking 1,000, if not 1,500 shots a day. He obviously has the work ethic. He has the basketball intelligence. He's always composed. It's just a matter of like, why I say I hate to be right is we should have been playing him because we at this point right now, watching some of these games, we'll be able to see other things about him or further evaluate him even further to see what you could possibly do with him next year. Now it's like he has a game like this and he's been playing solid maybe the last 5 games or so, and it's still like, okay, what else can he do? Like, how will we utilize, what I'm saying? It's still, to me, like, I don't think they're going to have a full evaluation on him to properly utilize him. But
what do you mean?
Huh?
What you mean?
you don't know everything that he can do. Like once you don't have
You're not finding it out right now.
you only got 4 more games.
I mean,
When you rather a sample size of like maybe 35 games, or just seeing him get a lot of minutes and extended minutes.
how many games did he play this year?
He played in a lot of games, but he ain't played very many minutes.
Consistently,
Probably until maybe a month after the All-Star break. What
he played
last
well.
month he started playing consistent minutes.
He according to the statistics this year, he played in 39 games
Mm-hmm.
and averaged 12 points a game. And 12 minutes a game. He averaged 5.5 points per contest.
Right, but you got to work those averages out. He had 30 minutes tonight, Q.
Right.
And all these other games, a lot of these other games, they put him at the end of the game when the game is over.
This
for
is
the
true.
last minute or two of the game. So out of that 39 games, it's probably only maybe about 15 of them, 16 maybe, where he got significant minutes. And that's been over the last month or so. So my thing with him is seeing what he did tonight, how he can go out there and, with no real stars out there, he's kind of like our primary scorer for stretches. I just wonder how deep his bag is as far as what he can do and what all he has to his game. But with the Pels, we'll never know. That's right, Slim South. Like that would be interesting to extend Alfred Payton as well. You know what I'm saying? He is a real point guard. But more about Antonio Reeves, looking at him with Alfred Payton.
Mm-hmm.
And he's playing alongside him. I noticed his game kind of went up a little bit. They had him try to play point guard. I seen him play some spot minutes as small forward, and they trying to have more people. So I ain't showing them all the way. They have been doing some stuff and trying different things with him. He's always a guy to me from when I saw him in the summer league. I just thought he commanded more minutes. But the Willie Green thing with the rookies, man, like. He don't play as rookies for real till the back half of the season. Even if we would have been winning, it'd have been the same thing. I mean, we watched this happen with Dyson Daniels. You remember that on Q, even though he had some injuries. But Dyson Daniels, he was good as a rookie, bro.
Right.
But, Willie couldn't. We got to find minutes for him. Remember that? And Lex was cutting his ass up about these finding minutes. Like he got a bunch of prepaid cards all around the house. He got to see which one got minutes on them and all this shit. Like Antonio Reeves, I think is going to be a good player. Well, he already is a good player.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still not even sure how he fits in our rotation with the guys we have. Do you swap him out for Hawk? I don't know. Still don't know. We only got 4 games left in the season, Q.
I know. And like I said,
we have another coach coming in trying to figure this out. And he ain't going to have the amount of tape that he should have because Willie didn't play his rookie in a losing season. They wait forever. This guy should have been getting at least 15 minutes a game, like way earlier in the season, because it's already over. Why not play all your young guys and see what you got?
Well, that's what I was telling you early on when you were saying it was tanking. I was telling they weren't tanking because of the fact they wasn't using the inexperienced player route, the G League player, the second round picks. They weren't doing that. That's how I knew they. One of the major clues that they weren't tanking yet, and they just weren't competent. That's why I kind of drew behind that thinking.
And that's why I'm gonna tell you were wrong, my brother, because everybody knows that the Pelicans was tanking because they chose not to fire Willie Green. If they weren't tanking, they would have fired Willie, and they actually would have won a lot more games. But because he was so incompetent, didn't know what to do. If you ain't got no star player out there, you can't expect Willie to get you no wins. He ain't no coach like that could draw up a strategy and get guys to play to a higher level than maybe what they can play on their own. No. So that's how I knew they were taking.
Oh, wow.
Because Willie was doing the same shit he always did, and they kept him around. So,
I'm going to disagree with you on that, BC. I'm going to say it was more incompetence than it was anything, my brother. I'm going to just agree with you. And I think David Griffin...
David Griffin knew. You've been talking about how David Griffin been lining Willie Green up forever.
He been lining them up, and Willie Green, he
didn't leave him up there to line him up. Come on, man.
Well, Willie Green's a big...
Willie Green is incompetent.
With a big bill.
I agree with that. He is incompetent.
Yeah, Willie Green
And
is
that's how I know
incompetent.
they was trolling because they left an incompetent person out there. So what do you expect to get when your star is going down too at that?
I got you, brother. We gonna regardless or not, bro. It ended the way it is. Let's jump into the preview of
What's
the
up,
Brooklyn
DJ?
Nets matchup. The Nets have won a loss. I want to say 3 games in a row. The Brooklyn Nets have lost actually 2 in a row. I think 3 in a row. Might be in two in a row. So they're 2-8 over the last 10 games, sitting at 25-53. They are a team, DC.
They're the dream
That
team
is,
compared to us.
they're 4 wins better. They're actually 4 wins better than we are currently. So all I can say, man, is that this is a game which I did predict that the Pelicans was going to beat the Brooklyn club, and that's what I thought. That's what I seen, and hopefully they don't beat them. And I'm pretty sure we'll see what Willie does his best 9 coaching job. But they are missing quite a few players. We travel up there to see. D'Angelo Russell is reported to be out. Cam Johnson, Nick Claxton, Deron Sharp. So they got quite a few guys. That Cam Thomas, he's out. So they got quite a few people missing, DC. So they got their own little G League squad of Keon Johnson and Zaire Williams and
And we
all
gonna
these
hold
other
out
kids.
Jose Q.
Yeah. Well, Brown, DC, that's the one you was talking about holding out because Jose
He
Alvarado.
definitely gonna cut up against Brooklyn. That's his old
Yes.
team.
Right. So, he got him going on. And I'm pretty sure, they gave Kelly Olynyk an opportunity to rest tonight. So he might be available for this matchup as well. So what do you see here? What do you think happens?
I still think Brooklyn gets the dub. Looking at the numbers per capita, remember I told you how we grade the wins.
Per capita, here we go.
Per capita, they got 25, we got 21. So they're at least like 12 wins better than us when you grade it per capita. Q.
Per capita, okay.
As far as the losing teams, this is like a championship caliber team out of the losing teams. You know what I'm saying? When you putting them up against your Charlottes, the Wizards, and all of that, and then you got the Pels. We Philly, we fall under Brooklyn, man. We can't do nothing with them, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I think the Pels gonna go out here and muck it up again. Now you got 2 teams who ain't really trying to win, but looking at these guys, man, I don't know. I ain't never heard of a lot of these cats. It's probably gonna be out of there. But we had cats on the Pelicans who I ain't even know one. I knew we signed somebody up for G League. We had like 2 of them. I was like, damn, I didn't know we had more people.
What, Lester
The boy
Quinones?
was playing. Yeah, he was hitting all them threes tonight, man.
Lester. Yeah. They signed him a few
Lester,
days.
he nice, man. They might want to hold on to Lester. He keep playing like that.
Yeah, well, we got Jamal Kane here. He's we gotta get rid of him, bro. But yeah, Lester was doing a really good job for the Pelicans, man. Big guard, 6'5", 200 pounds, 210. He was shooting the ball, finished with 17 points, DC. He had what was he? 3 or
like 4 for 5 or something like that from downtown.
He was knocking them down, man. So yeah, he might want to be somebody you kind of hold on him and Elfrid Payton. But yeah, bro.
But yeah, the battle of the losers, Q. But they're clearly more used to winning than we are. So I'm gonna have to tip my hat.
They're 25, DC. They got 25 wins, brother.
We got 20. We got 21. You know how long it took us to get 21 versus today 25?
We got 4 games remaining.
I wouldn't be surprised if the people got more games left in the season than us. They still got another chance to get another win or 2. You know what I'm saying?
They do.
So I just don't see it, man. I don't know who their coach is, but I'm more than sure he's like way better than Willie Green. So it's
who their coach is.
Who's their coach?
I forget, isn't it? No, that ain't. They changed coaches.
He better than Willie Green, whoever he is.
Isn't it? Hold on, I'm gonna look.
So that's kind of what I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying? And gauging it by because gauging it off of talent, like we're both.
Jordi Fernandez.
Better than Willie Green.
Jordi Fernandez. Yes,
I don't even know what that is. He's better than Willie Green, I'm sure. You can't get worse than Willie Green at this point. Look at him. That man at least looks serious. He looked like he gonna go to the podium when they lose, talking about how he proud of his guys and all that shit.
Well, he ain't got nothing else to say.
Man, Jordy go cuss him out in Spanish.
Jordy
Look
Fernandez.
Look at him.
Yeah. Yeah, DC, I don't know what to tell you on this, bro.
I'm just all right. Pull up a picture of Willie Green. Remember his face? Now pull up Willie picture.
Why I gotta do that to Willie?
Just pull up Willie. Just pull up Willie. I just want to see something. Just a little experiment right quick.
Okay. All right. Willie Green. Here we go.
Let's see.
All right. Well, I don't know.
See the first picture come off of what you see what come off of Jordy. Look like somebody take their job pretty serious.
See, there go Willie. See?
Look at this.
What's wrong with Willie, bro?
You look insecure as a motherfucker. Hands folded very well, shoulders all hunched in.
He's just watching the game.
He look clueless, man. He don't look like he got no type of like stance on what's going on. Like he gonna impact the game. Everything look like it's just coming at him full screen for the first time. Look at this shit.
Don't do
He's
it.
just watching everything, man. I'm just saying, bro.
Don't do that to Willie, bro.
Hey, this the game, Q. It's these two guys. Cause we know we want them to tank and all that. The G League players that's gonna be out there, the backups, they don't want to hear none of that. And you know the coaches, for the most part, they're gonna be going out there trying to handle their business.
Well,
especially Jordy Fernandez, like he probably got something to prove. Brooklyn wasn't expecting to be where they at. They probably happy to be in the position they in. It makes no sense for them to tank. They're never gonna catch the number one pick. You know what I'm saying? I just think they're gonna be out there running whatever their program is. Well, they trying to figure out some guys, see what they got in them, and that they gonna have a better strategy than us because they're actually playing to figure something out. At least we don't know what the hell we doing, Q.
Nah, bro.
We just there. We just out there.
Like I said, man, it's and remember what Sham said. Let me see if I can pull that up. What he said, DC, about last week about them sitting down and discussing the season and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, man,
wait, who sat down to try to discuss what?
The season. Remember, it was what Sham said. I'll pull a tweet up where he talked about the Pelicans having to sit down with Zion. Right. I'm like, man, what are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, man? You know, that's not, we got to talk about what we going to do and all. I'm like, man, the whole idea, what they're going to try to do is pivot to see if they can pick up a lottery player to add with Zion Williamson. But the problem is we have to have an identity. I was talking that it's the same thing, man, with the Saints it is with the Pelicans. We have coaches that cannot establish the identities for these ball teams. And that's really the really messed up part about it is like these guys don't come in and they don't give them an identity. There is nothing, for them to like play behind every game. And then constantly, it's these low IQ basketball plays where they break down and they don't know who they playing. It's just like backdoor passes and all this kind of stuff. It just is, it's supposed to be a lot of communicating on the court. Yeah, I got this guy, you got that guy. When you're switching, pointing, talking, tell them to watch out for the screen coming, watch out, it's supposed to be a lot of that going on. And it's not none of that going on, DC. It's nothing like that happening. And you got to be able to communicate with players out there. And I just don't see enough of that. But yeah, man, it's supposed to be this thing with them, with Shams and them, where they were supposed to be talking to. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up, as we go. But yeah, they were supposed to be reportedly supposed to be having a situation. They're supposed to meet with Zion, at the end of the year or some crap like that to discuss what the direction of the team is and all this kind of nonsense. But
Zion, who we need to get so you don't command the trade? Basically, like, I mean, what are they gonna talk about? The direction of the team? Shit, we don't even know who the coach gonna be. Like, what major conversation can they have other than just him in the off season and how he gonna go about that and how they think he should go about that? I think that's all that is. Like,
I hate to
try to reassure him that they want to win and they don't want to have another season like this. What else can they really talk about, man? Like, they can't start strategizing on anything. We won't even have our draft pick.
Well, I hate to throw cold water on your assessment, but the reality is that none of this was, there is no indication that the Pelicans, even though they should, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to hold on to Willie Green. I mean, David Griffin is a complete and utter moron. I don't trust him to make any proper decisions, avoiding around building this team the correct way. You have an opportunity now with the team to get from up under Willie Green, been here for 4 years. I think he done really hit his plateau last year when they had the 49 wins. You know, you have an opportunity to pivot away from him and get a respectable coach that is definitely light years better than Willie Green. I mean, I'm sorry, Willie Green has not improved this year like I thought he would, and it hadn't.
I'm glad you said that part.
Yeah, because I gave the
Like
man.
you thought he would part, you know.
I mean, I thought he'd be, like I said,
he thought he wasn't going to improve.
well, 4 years in DC, like the fourth year, you usually see some of these coaches, even at the third year. But by the fourth year, you see them take a step. And that just simply didn't happen. Even if the team was dealing with different things, you did see Willie Green's thing. And people like, saying, hey, Q, well, what are you supposed to do with the team? And I'm telling y'all, man, listen, the whole damn year didn't evolve around Willie Green not having his players. He had these damn players, a lot of these players, and they were healthy and they were still losing games.
But how do you gauge a coach outside of strategy, and wins and losses? That would be my question to somebody like that to see where they mind at, because the way I see you gauging the coach outside of, their on-court adjustments and strategy and stuff like that, and wins and losses, is the attitude of the team. What type of mentality do these guys have? You know what I'm saying?
You're speaking in reference to the coach, correct?
Yeah, because that's a direct reflection of the coach. The mentality or the attitude of the team is going to be a reflection of the coach. So if you have guys with the attitude of, oh, it's not a big deal, we'll get them next time, oh, we don't get angry, we don't cuss, we won't stoop to that level, just this whole be good human being shit that you got coming down from the front office. And that's shown in the coach. Have we ever started a fight? You know what I'm saying? Like that type of attitude, like that's in the coach. And then you go around, people be like, oh, well, you don't have to do all that to win. You don't. But I tell you, when you go around and you look at the majority of teams that are winning, they don't fall into any of them categories of shit I just said. And that is a direct reflection of the coach. The coach controls the culture in the locker room, whether it be toxic or it be good. You got a bad coach, everybody going to be kind of doing their own thing, or it could be, worse than that. You got a good coach, all hands on deck, everybody moving in unison, and it's usually for the betterment of the team. Now, I don't think we have players that don't want the betterment of the team and don't want to move in unison, but they just lack attitude. They lack fire. They lack fight. And they lack effort on a lot of nights. That's why Willie Green has to constantly get behind the podium like he did tonight and praise the team when they have good effort. You know what I'm saying? Because like other teams, Big Q, like it's a known that you're gonna have good. That ain't nothing to get behind a podium and praise. Like, do you hear any winning coaches in the loss talk about, yeah, my guys had good effort tonight?
I mean, what is he supposed to talk about, DC? Honestly, what is he supposed to talk about, honestly, bro?
Nothing.
He got 20.
We take it.
So you're just supposed to stand up there and pick his nose? What are you supposed to do?
Man, you make it short and sweet, bro. You ain't never watched Bill Belichick and Greg Popovich? You supposed to be the studied coaches?
Oh, he never do that.
I'm just saying, like, good coaches, when they lose, they're usually upset. And when you're upset, you don't have to say a lot to convey that you're upset. I don't really want to be up here because I'm mad because we're losing.
So what, he gonna just sit there with a dry nose and just have his arms folded? That's what
they're gonna sit up there. He gonna smile and he's gonna look at all the positives. I'm a fairly optimistic person, but
I don't sound like
it. But if you're consistently losing, no Q, I mean, at what point do you just get like fed up You know,
I
what I'm saying?
don't
I
know.
don't
I'm
want
done.
to talk to y'all. Like, it ain't nothing to talk about. We got 4 games left.
You gotta
Everybody
do
know
that.
we tanking. I'm gonna answer your questions. I'm gonna make them short, brief, and to the point. I ain't about to wax poetic with all the sunshine and flowers, and this guy is
He's a deacon
progressing
in
and
the
he's
church.
growing. I could tell him that behind the scenes if I really feel like that about
Willie
that
Green is a
house
deacon
for
in
his
the church,
development.
brother. He's
We
not.
don't need that.
He's a deacon in the church. He
I
ain't gonna-
need I need one of them people who come in the church and get the deacons riled up to where they might have to kick him out. That's what we need, Q.
what?
Let's just get that man and escort him
panhandler?
out. You know, one of them guys. We need somebody to rile some stuff up around him, man.
A panhandler? That's the only people that get
Said
roughed up,
panhandler.
get roughed up and kicked out of the church. Who coming in the church? They kicking out.
Somebody who disobeyed or disagreed with the rules of the church, man. I've seen a lot, but nevertheless, we don't need no deacon in the church, man. That ain't working. Maybe it was a good part of the development for the younger guys on the team, having somebody like that. But we need somebody who gonna cuss, who gonna get mad, who might throw shit, ain't always politically correct.
Oh
We
no.
need somebody with some fire, man. That's what this team is missing. They're missing fire. We have talent, we have a good group of men, you know what I'm saying, who I think morally stand for the right thing. Now you need somebody to fire them up and push them in the right direction. Marley say, "Will it go to the Marvin Sapp church? Close the doors." You heard me. Close the doors.
Oh Lord. All right, but anyway, of course, obviously, the matchup indicator for the Brooklyn Nets matchup have a 69.6% chance that the Brooklyn Nets will beat the Pelicans at 30.4%. So as we kind of transition to the final article right here, topic in NBA Insider think Zion Williamson, Pelicans must decide future and trade rumors. Now, DC, a lot of this to me is kind of a man. A lot of this is kind of I'm not buying it. Yeah, I'm not kind of buying it. You got to watch out for Shams. He known as kind of throw some crap out there every now and again.
He's very
Shams. Yeah, you got to watch out for Shams when you're walking. You check your shoes. He might leave something. But yeah, let's cover this article right here. This is pretty much what they said right here. And this is what he's saying. This is the tweet right here. Him talking. Let me play this for the fam so y'all put one in the chat if y'all can hear this.
There will be a lot of teams that would want to trade for him. Is that how this would go this offseason?
Yeah, but do you really want to trade a guy that just hasn't it's also like you want to trade a guy at his peak value, right? Like, so what is really his value right now? And there are teams that will trade for him. A bunch of teams will trade for him. If the Pelicans said today our goal and our mission is to trade Zion Williamson, they can get a pretty darn solid package. But the goal for the Pelicans, as it's always been, is like, how do we win? The last thing you want to do is trade Zion Williamson to wherever, LA or New York or this team, Miami, wherever, and he just skyrockets because he's able to find health. He's able to find that maturity, find that growth in his career. They want that to come in New Orleans. But I do believe, and people around the league do believe, both sides have to come together this summer and figure out exactly what that's going to look like, because how it's going right now, it's not going to be sustainable for either side.
And that's what I was saying. See, he didn't say he threw himself in that first. That's what I'll be saying about this guy. It's different when you hear him mention people before he says. Like the sources say such and such, I say, or I believe. Man, we didn't care what you believe. What's the inside information? He throw himself first and other people's believe that they got to talk. You know, that's not a breakdown. That's not any. Yeah, that's some sucker shit, Shams. Sucker Shams. That's what he. That's why we showing you.
He's a sham.
Yeah, he's a sham. That's right. That's what I'm saying. A lot of the stuff, some of the stuff they be talking about is like basic information. Like you can't talk about Zion's fact that he's out of shape. You know, you can't mention that too much. Now what they say is the Pelicans got to meet around and talk about what they're going to do. That they're going to do that anyway.
But my thing is this: like Zion has shown this year, I guess, some of the best discipline he's shown. He's pretty much been in shape the whole year. He never had the up and down thing with his weight, right? He did get hurt, and when he came back After he got hurt, we all know he could have came back sooner, and they stretched that out because it was pretty much over. So it's like looking at everything on the season, and then you seeing him peak at the end of the season. What incentive do they have to trade him? Who can you trade Zion to and get anything back and even close to the same value of what you have in him, as far as selling tickets, you know what I'm saying? The ability to win and compete, obviously, his talent level. Like, what are you getting back?
I don't.
I don't see, like, you gotta let him maximize what he. Even if they want to trade Zion, they have to let Zion be damn near an MVP candidate, and then pull the trigger. Like, that's right, Bird Talk is clickbait, because anything else is just throwing his name and titles.
Yes.
Just to draw views, because none of the shit they talking about makes any sense.
It don't make any sense. That's what I'm saying. Point.
Even for the dumbass Pelicans, Pelicans ain't even that stupid, and they pretty stupid.
Right, they are stupid, but they have to know. If you trade Zion Williamson, they clearing that office out of there.
Right.
If you trade Zion Williamson, that's a death sentence for all of those guys in there. All of them getting cleared out of there. If Zion gets traded, Griffin, all of them gone.
And they don't even have to be smart enough to do it initially. The results is gonna get all of them out of there. Because if you trade Zion, man, they
ain't got nothing.
Man,
don't disrespect the trade. I'm just saying you need a centerpiece. Yeah, you need a star that galvanizes everything. He's in shape. Pelicans were extra with a lot of stuff, and I'm not totally faulting them on how they handle them, because they was really gun shy with the several years prior to it. But a lot of that they could have done better with the help staffs, hiring better trainers, hiring better people. They got the money. We talked about that on Sports Home. Let's finish up with what Sham say on the rest of this. Like I said, y'all need to watch out for this.
Let's hear the rest of the bullshit.
Figure it out, Diner.
Good luck.
They're not going to. That's kind of the problem. They've done this we've had this exact same conversation with Shams like the last 4 years. Like, these guys really need to get together this offseason and kind of figure out like how we're going to do this moving forward. It's like, guess what?
This summer,
it ain't gonna fucking work. It's not going to, Shams.
As an organization, they have decisions that they're gonna have to make. We talk about the Suns evaluating everything. The Pelicans are gonna be in the same boat. They have to look at everything with the season that they just had.
And you just have to swallow that pill and be like, hey, we know, like, we're going to trade him to the Knicks. And then all of a sudden he's going to be weighing like 230 and he's going to be excited about life again. Like, that's how it goes. He doesn't want to be here anymore.
Well, and also to Zion's, and he said it this year for the first time ever, I want to play. They will not let me play. Because over the last 4 years, however long it's been, now, is he telling anybody he wants to play? Like, is he forcing himself on the court? Is a whole nother conversation. But in years past, it appeared as if he would be healthy enough to play. But the Pelicans are like, he's not ready yet.
He hasn't done 2-on-2.
He's not ready yet. We need to do 3-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-3, 4-on-4, 5-on-4, 5-on-5, 5-on-1, 5-on-2. Like, it was just always something coming out of your mouth from the Pelicans organization on why we can't get this guy on the court for the games. Like, well, he needs to get in better shape. It's like, well, what better way to get in better shape than to play in these games? They were looking out for him. Now he has a bone bruise in his back. Like, all right, Zion, let's go, Pelicans, Zion.
Come on now.
I see the crazy part about it is that they're not really vetting this guy. Like, he can get up here and say this other idiot said that he didn't really want to be there. Shams know damn well, if he has any real research, that Zion Williamson wants to be with the Pelicans. He never said that. They've been lying about that all this time, and he's been saying that he wants to be there. If he didn't want to be with the Pelicans, you would definitely see that. I mean, he put up with a lot of BS with David Griffin, with all the nonsense that he's doing, all of the extra stuff with the injuries and all this foolishness. Let's finish this up and then we'll comment. Hold on, let me hit the button on here. Y'all give me a second. Let me run this for in here what the rest of Shams is saying. Here we go.
Another Zion update. So, I mean, at this point, this is the fourth season where he's played 30 games or less. They're sitting him for the rest of the year. We had the kind of not narrative. He said earlier this year, like, listen, I want to play. I'm ready to play. They don't want me to play. We saw him get in the best shape of his life this year as well. At what point does the rubber meet the road here? I mean, I think it's pretty evident. Like, he needs to get out of New Orleans. He needs a new home. So what the hell is happening?
Ty, this summer, I think, is the moment of truth for the Pelicans and for Zion Williamson. Like, for Zion Williamson, we see right there, he's missed more games than he's played, right? Like, we know when he's on the floor, that's the thing. When he's on the floor, he has game-changing ability. He makes this team
Tell me something I don't know, man.
This is a team, the last couple of years, before he's had injuries, they're fighting for the playoffs. One year, it was either last year or the year before, they literally were like a top 2 or 3 seed in the NBA, in the Western Conference, and then he suffers a hamstring strain and he's out for months and months and months, which is the same, which has happened repeatedly. He's had chronic hamstring injuries. So, my educated, knowledge-based look at this situation is the Pelicans and Zion Williamson have to have a sit down this summer and really get on the same page. And I know people are on Zion Williamson looking out for the best in him.
They did that last summer.
Succeed at a really high level. And that starts with everything. He got suspended early in the year for being late to a team flight. And that's not the first time he's been late. And so the biggest thing for the Pelicans is getting him on board, getting both sides to figure out exactly where this is going to go if this team is going to be, realizing its potential. Because on paper, they've got a really, really talented roster. They just have not been able to put it together. And a lot of it starts with health.
On paper, Zion, great basketball player, right?
Oh yeah,
he is elite. He is if he is able to put together a 65-game NBA season, he's an all-NBA player. He's an all-star player. He's a player who at his peak should be competing for MVPs. And everyone around the league knows that. It's just about, can he put it together from health, from conditioning, from all of the traits that are necessary to be a leader of an NBA franchise. And that's being on time. That's being the first person in every room. That's being the leader in practice. That's everything that we see from guys like LeBron and Kevin Durant and Stephen Curry. And these are traits that even guys like Anthony Edwards, they have to learn and see, but they get there. The biggest thing is people want to get on Luka Doncic for his conditioning and all that. People want to get on, and Edwards, his maturity, things like that. But those guys play, they compete, and they produce at high levels. We just haven't seen that from sustained amount of time. But the NBA is a much better place when Zion Williamson is on the court and he's balling out, because he has the potential to be one of the best players in the league.
Yeah, Shams,
of course, he doesn't bring anything to the conversation. Doesn't say anything of substance.
They're living in the twilight zone. Q, like, this is the same conversation.
Same stuff over
last year. This is the same shit they were saying last year.
Same stuff.
You got to sit down, and they didn't already sit down with Zion. They didn't already hashed everything out. To me, everything went fine with Zion this year. It's just everybody else on the roster got hurt, and you traded Brandon Ingram for nothing. Like, what are y'all expecting? You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. But I know it's all clickbait. But it's like, anybody who watches or has any information on the Pels, you can't watch this and seriously look at it. I can understand you saying, okay, the Pels need to blow it up. They need to start over. All the players get injured. Nobody want to. All of that. It's like makes perfect sense. But when you just like isolate Zion and you just make it like a Zion thing, like it's all his fault, and the Pelicans, I don't understand why he's not playing right now. They chasing a goddamn draft pick. Like, is that so hard to understand?
Made no mention of the fact that they purposefully tanking.
Right.
Like
he has chronic hamstring issues. He had 2 hamstring issues. Now that's chronic.
Yes. According to Sam,
he had hamstring issues all the time at Duke.
This little dude,
all his rookie year and the 2 years after that, like, it's
this little dude be running around with this bullshit, man. This little Shams dude, boy, I'll be telling you.
It ain't just him, no, Q, because it's like last week somebody hit the button in the high up office and it was like, well, it's time to run our annual throw Zion name out there for clicks week. And that's just what it's been. They had a 2-3 day cycle of just talking about Zion. When they held him out with a bone bruise, like we didn't have 7 games left in the season, and we trying to make sure we stay in a certain position draft-wise, everybody's so shocked. And, oh, my God, I can't believe he's hurt again. Everybody on the team hurt. You think all of them dudes, like, can't come back? Like CJ can't be playing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What's your boy that Brandon Boston can't be playing? You know, we got situations like that where guys, they hurt, but they ain't really hurt.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, fam. That's going to do it for tonight's show, man. I'd like to thank all you guys for tuning in to PPR tonight. Pelicans, of course, they did lose 111-107 to the Buccaneers. To the Bucks. The Bucks, Milwaukee Bucks, they go to 20-57. The Pelicans are 20-57. They're on a 3-game losing streak. They are 3 wins out of the last 10 games, and according to the Tankathon, they're currently sitting at 4th place, a couple of games behind Charlotte. As you can see, Utah, Washington, Charlotte, New Orleans, and then at the 5th spots, Philly's 2 games back of them. So that is where we are in the Tankathon with 4 games remaining. Brooklyn's coming up in a couple of days, and we'll be back here to recap it on PPR. Once again, I'd like to thank you guys for chiming in. Please do me a service by hitting the like button, hitting the sub button, and the little bell for future content on your Pelicans. A tough season, fam, but we still here representing the Flocking Nation to the fullest, and we appreciate you for being who you are and where you are. So with that being said, we're going to holler at y'all on the next one. Much love, and go Pels. Peace.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report.
You are now listening.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, bunch of train. Post game, Big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the refs just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never. Say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly die, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who That too.